G'day viewers, today I'm going to have a bit of a scrap marathon. I've got a whole pile of things here, some small micro things and some TV box and modems and all kinds of things, and I think I'll just keep scrapping away, and I hope you don't get too bored. I've got normal size cutters, small cutters, flat screwdriver. This is my screwdriver that goes with all these little bits and pieces, so anything I need should be in there, and a knife. These are the usual tools that I use, so we'll get started on this. It's a normal Phillips screw. I can get it in the hole. It'd help if I had the right bit. I'm hoping that the lighting is better today than my last video. Yesterday, I'm so annoyed, I did a video of two curved computer screens, computer monitors. I haven't seen any scrapping videos on YouTube of curved screens. There probably is some, I just haven't seen them. So I thought, oh, this will be good, I'll do a video on that. I made the video and I went to the computer and moved all the information across to the computer. Then I edited the film and saved the film, and everything was really good. Then I had to try and work out how to take a snapshot because I'd forgotten to take a photo at the beginning. So I wanted to do a snapshot of the screen so that I could make a thumbnail for it, and I couldn't remember how to do a snapshot, and I kept trying and making mistakes. So in the end I decided to delete them all and start again, and I accidentally deleted the video as well. And because my computer doesn't have a lot of storage space, I have to delete and then clean my recycle bin so that all the information is off the computer, otherwise my hard drive fills up quick and I need the space to store videos. I do have a external hard drive and I completely forgot about it, and I should have saved it to that, but I didn't. Long story short, I deleted the footage. So now we have, this is not a bad board. And what I'll do, each time I do videos like this now, I'll tell you what I think is a medium grade board or a high grade board, because I want to buy EWASTE. And if you guys have got any EWASTE, you'll know what I consider to be a good board or a bad board or a mediocre board. And hopefully some of you guys will sell me some of your EWASTE. Now, I would consider this to be, at best, a medium grade board, because yeah, there's some tiny little LEDs here with gold, but you're not going to get a lot of that. These are just aluminium capacitors. They're completely useless. There's one half decent coil of copper there and some nice gold pins in here and a switch for silver. I got an IC chip there. This is not an IC chip, this will have little copper coils inside. There is a nice gold corner BGA, however it's very small, and there's two IC chips there. So all I'm basically looking at is 1, 2, 3, 4, because I want gold recovery. There's a diode there that has a little bit of gold, but I'm talking about quantity of gold. These 4 things are what it's going to only give me, the quantity of gold. These pins are next to nothing. You'll need loads of them to get a gram, so they don't really count. The aluminium capacitors are no good, so once they've all been removed, there's going to be next to nothing as far as gold recovery. There's MLCCs, but that's for PGMs. I buy boards based on how much gold I can get. So at best, with 3 small chips and 1 tiny one, I wouldn't go any higher than a mid-grade board for that. And mid-grade boards, I pay about $5 a kilo, and that's pushing it because there's no way I'm going to get my money back on 3 chips and 1 tiny one. But some other boards that are just not quite high grade, but better than all this here, so it'll even out in the end. So $5 per kilo for mid-grade boards. If you want to make more money than that, you want to get a higher price, so take these off and sell them to me individually. For IC chips, I'll pay $50 a kilo. For gold corner BGAs like this without the copper top, because this one hasn't got copper top, some have, I'll pay $70 a kilo. So, you know, it's better for you. The more work you do, the more you get paid. The more I have to do, the more I get paid, or the less I pay. There's pins here that have got a tiny bit of gold on them, not even enough to worry about unless you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Okay, so that is what I class as a high grade board. Okay, next one. That's nice and quick. My prices are what I'm willing to pay. It might be different to what someone else pays. Their category might be different. They might class things different. I'm not worried about what other people charge and what other people will pay. I'm telling you my price, and if you don't want to sell to me, that's fine. So I know what I need to get in order to make money. I know what my costs are with all the chemicals and so on. And also that includes, if you have to post it to me, then the postage needs to come out of your pocket, not mine, because that's the total amount per kilo that I'm interested in paying. I don't mean to sound harsh, but everyone has to make everyone with a business needs to have their costs counted for. See, this is just slightly better because it's got a transistor and a tiny IC, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other ones, plus another little one, so it's slightly better. That's what I was saying about how things will even out in the end. Yeah, there's LEDs here that they say contain gold, but that's going to be, you need thousands. I'm talking about quantity now, what I can get quickly. So these IC chips are what I can get quickly cash from. That's not an IC, that's just copper. Anytime you see this type of thing behind Ethernet spot, you know it's not going to be an IC chip, it's only going to have copper. I'll show you what it looks like. And you can't even really recover the copper from it, they're so tiny. So awkward to get into because they're right close to the thing. Okay. So inside this, it's just a tiny little bit of copper, not even worth trying to recover. A big scrap company would do it because they shred everything and they can recover everything, but for the small blokes like me, it's too hard. So I've got a little glass fuse there that'll have silver in it, some nice copper coils, a little bit dark, so I might have to go with dirty copper. They're not exactly bright wire, but sometimes you can get away with it if you put a little bit like this in with a whole pile of bright wire. This is my bright wire so far. If I buried those two things in there, they wouldn't even notice, but I couldn't have lots and lots and lots of it. They would pull it out straight away. Some pins here that have a tiny bit of gold. It's not even a very good coating, it's a very light coating. I take all the aluminium capacitors off now before I use my heat gun, because these explode with the heat gun. They bang, scare crap out of you. So I'll always take these off first. And you'll see once these are gone, the board looks a whole lot emptier. These are no good to me, so there's no point keeping them on there. So it's already looking emptier. I've got a tiny coil of copper here. I've got a transformer here. These brown things, I'm not sure what's in those. I'm collecting those to make a video. So I'll soon find out what's in them. Some fingers, or pins I mean, some gold pins. There might be a gold pin or two in there. Really not a lot, like you'd need hundreds and thousands of them. So the only good thing is the chips. So that's another mid-grade board. On the back there's nothing. Let's see if this winds off. Should do, I believe. Antenna. There's a jack here which is good, so that's going to be nice to have. There's 4 lots of fingers in there, pins, so that's pretty, another one there, 5. So we're looking better already. A switch that may contain some silver. So let's see what's in this. So how have you guys been? Hopefully everybody's well. What have you been up to? Have you been scrapping? Have you been refining? Let us know in the comments what you've been doing. I'm curious, I'd like to know. Do you scrap while you're watching videos? I sometimes do, like if I wasn't making a video right now, I would probably have EWASTE Ben playing, watching what he's scrapping. Or I'd have a gold show on of some sort. Alrighty, so this is a bit better. These copper coils aren't as dark, so I would be able to get those through a bright wire. But again, it's not gold. I buy based on the gold content. These are just a little bonus. I'm trying to get some money back for what I paid for them, so. I had some clown comment on one of my last videos I posted saying that I've got no knowledge when it comes to precious metal recovery. I don't mind criticism by any means. If you've got something to say it. But as long as it's constructive criticism, something that I can learn from. I'm not interested in someone just have an event because they think they're so wonderful that they've somehow got the qualifications to tell me that I don't know what I'm doing. I will admit I don't know much about PGMs. I'm still learning, but when it comes to silver and gold, I've been refining for over 10 years. So I'm pretty sure that means I've got a bit of experience. Anyway, my rant over. So on here, where that was, you can't see because of the glue, but where this wire joins this board will be a little gold connector. And I try and take them off the board with the little plug. There's a little plug, little thing there that these things clip onto. Obviously it was supposed to have another one connected and I didn't. And unfortunately I just ruined it and took because of the glue, I took the plug off separately. Where's that wire gone? See, the little plug is still stuck on the little connector, still stuck on the wire. And the only reason I like to take them off at the same time is because it can be a little bit harder trying to get this plug here off, and then it flies everywhere like that. And now I can't even find it. Where's it gone? It's in here somewhere. And what I normally like to do is to have, while it's stuck on there, scrape it off the board and it stays together. The both parts, the bottom and top, stay together. Let's just glue the bottom bit dropped. This is why I like to do them all together. Because now I don't know, there it is. Okay, so that's the little clip that was on the board. That clips onto this gold thing here. So I'll take this wire off the back of this plug. Now this is a little slot card. So we're getting better definitely with quality. Slot cards are always good. There's some nice gold fingers there, and they're really good ones because you can tell by how dark they are. If you look at the flashing, I don't know if you're going to be able to see on the camera, but if you look at this tiny dot gold flashing there and here, and then you look at the fingers, these are a lot darker. Plus, you can feel them with your nail, when you run your nail across. There's definitely a good plating on there. So slot cards are usually pretty good. So now, see what's under this metal. If you brought this card to me and you had the metal still on it, I wouldn't pay as much, because what's the good of metal? To me, it means nothing. To you, you get the weight and you're trying to make extra money. It doesn't work that way. If you take the metal off, I'll pay more for this board. Now, I would class this very, very close to a high grade board, but if these chips were a bit bigger, because they're very, very small, even though it is a small board, I get that, but they're still, I'll show you what I mean. We'll try and get this gold plug off. So we've got a good one there, and considering the size of the board, that's a mediocre one, but then you've got two tiny ones. If that was like one big one, one there and one here, then I'd say that's really good. We've got a nice gold border oscillator there, but it is a tiny one. So we've got the nice fingers, the IC chips. And another IC chip there. I'd put this through as mid-grade for sure. Definitely a mid-grade. It's not quite good enough for a high grade in my eyes. Alright, so here we're getting better. This is getting closer. In fact, I would let this go through as a high grade board, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8 IC chips, 9, tiny one there. So they're small, but there is a few big ones. And then we've got the gold corner BGA, they're always good. Got some gold pins in here, they're going to be nice. And we've got these pins here and this jack. So we've got a lot more activity, a lot more happening on this board as far as gold is concerned. And I would happily put that through as a high grade board. Alright, so you're looking at about $50 a kilo for high grade boards, as long as they're really, really good. You know, you'd have to have, this would be like the minimum of a high grade board. It's just made it into the category of high grade. And like I said, any metal on there to be taken off, because I'm not paying for metal. It's just like when you go to the scrapyard with your copper and your brass and so on. If you clean everything up into their nice little piles and there's nothing for the scrapyard to do, then you'll get top dollar. But if you have everything mixed together and they've got to separate it, or they've got to take steel off coppers, and you know, if you've got a bit of brass with steel stuck to it, they're going to have to separate it. So they're going to put it through as dirty brass. You know what I mean? So it's the same sort of deal. If I've got to clean it up, then you're not going to get as much. You do all the work for me like this, it'll go through at $50 a kilo. I hope I'm making sense to you people. Alright, so we're getting better. We're moving up a bit. Now this thing here, I have no idea what this is. It's just Apple Airport Extreme. I've never seen one before. No clue what you'd use it for. It looks like a modem. It's got frame ports there. So we'll see. I don't even know how to get into it. And these things here, well, that one there's a part that I can get out of there. Maybe it'll work. Let's have a look. Maybe this piece here. Yep, I'm getting to be a good judge by looking at it, because I do a lot of them, and after a while you get to know by looking at it. This is I think it's a Torx, but it might be a Torx security Torx, because it's got more sharper pins on it. There's some of these that are very, very sharp pins, jagged corners on them, and some of them that are kind of like like one of these pieces here. I don't know how to explain it. Some are more jagged than others. That toolkit's got pretty much everything you'd ever come across. Alright, so I got that one out. So hopefully it fits these ones. Yep. I like to scrap new things that I haven't done before, which is exciting. I'm wondering what I'm going to see when I open it. It's like a Christmas present. Okay, hopefully now this will come apart. Yep. Wow. What have we here? Need my Phillips attachment back. I don't really like, I mean, not really, I hate Apple products, full stop. I hate trying to use them, I don't understand them, I don't like scrapping them because they're usually cheaper quality than other things. Like for an example, these wires are soldered to the board. The other thing I took apart had a little gold connector. So it's a classic example of what I'm saying. Apple, as far as I'm concerned, and I could be wrong, as far as I'm concerned, Apple products aren't very good. They play up all the time, and for those Apple users out there that are getting really annoyed, I get so many things dropped off to me every day. People bring things to me, and I can tell you now, 9 times out of 10, what I get brought is Apple products. And not because they've upgraded and got better things, it's because they're broken. Every single time. I never ever get any Apple products brought to me that are working and they've just upgraded. So, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't like them, that's my opinion, but, you know. And they're always hard to get apart. See, now, I've undone the screws and there's nothing separating these. These brass parts look like they're holding it all together like some sort of rivet. It might make more sense once I get this out. There's no screw behind there. Let's see what's under these plastic bits here. Nothing under there. See, so what's holding it in? Apple always do this. Oh. There's definitely something in the middle there, holding it together. Christ knows. Oh yeah, it was that pin there. So there was a screw under there, but I can't feel it with the... thing, so alright. There's a screw here. Okay, so yeah, there's screws on the side screwing into the brass. This is aluminium. It's only domestic aluminium, but it all adds up. Can someone tell me what this does? I've never ever seen one of these airport thingy jigs. If someone knows, please let me know. Now I know that EWASTE Ben pays a lot more per kilo for things than I do, but he won't. He's got a lot more money than I have. He's in such a big wicket where he's doing. He's got so much e-waste, it's not funny, and he's got a lot more money to pay out for starters. I don't have a whole lot of money at my disposal to be able to pay top dollar. In time, if I can grow the business bigger, I'll have more money. But right now, I can't say I'd pay X amount of dollars if I can't come through with it. All right, so we've got a piece of aluminium here. I'm going to take this board off. Probably glued on. Why they need to do that, I don't know. There's gooey, double-sided, sticky stuff under here. They massacre the board trying to get it off. So now I've got to try and clean that up before I can sell that, and that's a scrap knife should get it off, but it's not the point. Why do they make life so hard? Same with this board here. Luckily I don't need it because there's all goo stuck all over it. There's one little IC chip, that's it. So all I have to do is pick it off, like so. That board's no good. Alright, so we've got another slot card, which is good. There's a little gold thing in here, so I was trying to get the plastic sleeve off. I didn't realise it pops out so easily. I'll do that later. Let's try and get this plastic off. I want to see how far down this pin goes. Need a new blade. I've been scrapping so much wire and I've been through so many blades. I do have a wire stripper, but it's only good for thick wire. So that only seems to be gold just there. It might go down inside this little whatever it is, but I don't know. I guess this opens up like that. Yep. So much waste. What was the point in having all that metal around it? Some people have said that this metal I'm peeling off is brass. Well, I've never experienced brass ones. I've checked them with magnets and it's never brass. I saw a video the other day where someone said that they were brass. They should Learn how to use a magnet. Okay, so we got little IC chip, BGA, we've got a few nice chunky MLCCs, and we've got a gold border oscillator and some nice fingers, and you can feel them with a nail, so they're definitely nice and thick coated. A little bit of flashing means nothing to me because it's so minute. The fact that we've got a BGA is good, and it's a good size. The gold border oscillator is good, I like those, and a couple of small things. So I would say this, because of the size of the board, it's so small, and these fingers as well, I'd be happy if that was a high grade. I would pay high grade price for that because it's so small, and because it's got the oscillator and the BGA, with a good size BGA considering the size of the board and the gold fingers. Now, if you try bringing this to me and you've cut the fingers off, I'm not going to give you a high grade price. Any of the things that I've showed you so far, you've got to have it as it is, otherwise where am I going to make money? So now, clean that up, get some nice aluminium. Now what have we got? Nice big chunky piece of aluminium there. Yeah, I hope I haven't annoyed anybody by saying I don't like Apple products. Everybody's entitled to their view. There's some people out there like Apple and some people like other things. I don't mean to be disrespectful or anything, it's just telling you my view. There's die-hard Apple people out there and there's die-hard Samsung people. It's just, each to their own. Okay, now what do we got? There's some screws in there. There's stuff here that's got to come off too before I can see. That's all stuck on, like double-sided tape. So it's going to cost me time to get the knife and peel all this off. And this is what I mean, if you try selling things to me with metal stuck on it, I've got to take the time to get it off. Luckily this is a nice chunk of aluminium and it's worth the time. Even though aluminium is not worth a whole lot of money, it's still some sort of value. It's nice and thick and solid. It's good. Now this board's looking better. Another board on this side, so that's pretty good. I'll cut these wires off. Alright, so yeah, I would let this go through as a high grade board. Because it's a very small board and it's got a lot of things happening. It's got 3 nice size IC chips there, a small one there, got some nice gold pins in here, and then on the reverse it's got another nice big IC chip, and it looks like some gold plating on this, but it might not be. But so just because of the ICs alone, 4 good size, 4 good size IC chips on such a small board. I would let that go through as high grade. And these risers might be brass, sometimes they're not. I'll test them with a magnet and see. Put it over here for now. Okay, so high grade. Of course, it's got to have a lot of cleaning up to get off it and clean things up. But this here, there's no ICs. There's tiny little ones, 2, 4, 5 really small ones. No, that's not going to impress me. And some gold pins. Like I said, you need lots of these to get anywhere. And there might be some gold pins in there, but on the back side, however, a different story. We've got a nice size BGA, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good size ICs, and then 2 small ones here. So that changes the thing a bit. We've got some gold pins in there. There's only gold on the tips, they're not very good, but I'm impressed by the amount of chips here. I would let that go through as high grade, because it's a fairly small board. You've got 5 good size IC chips on it. Those 2 there, you've got the copper inside them. You get to know by looking at them after a while what they look like. Got some chunky MLCCs. So, given what's on here and what's on here, I'm happy enough to say that would be a high grade board. Alright, so I'll get all these brass risers off. I'll do that later. I'll clean that up later on. Alright, so I'll clean up here a bit and come back to the next one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So, Apple TV. I have no idea what an Apple TV does. And I can't find any screws. This is all rubber. Let's see if we can pry it off. Yep, screws are underneath it. This is what I mean about Apple. They make things so awkward. Now I've got to try and pull all this rubber off. And look for the screws. There's another one there. I've got no idea how many of these screws are in here to hold this on. It looks like there's probably 3, 4 per side. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. I'm hoping, yep, they're going to be all over it. I was going to say, I hope they're not all over it. Never done one of these, and I don't want to do any more. This is ridiculous. There shouldn't need to be any in the middle. I hope there's not any in the middle. Yeah, there's some in the middle. Why? Why do they need to put some in the middle? Luckily there's not any down this side here, so that means there probably won't be any on that side there. just as well I didn't have to buy this. Most of my e-waste I get for free. I have people from all over my city in Perth, Western Australia. They bring things to me. So that's half the reason why I need things to be really good before I'm prepared to pay for them, because I get so much for free. It's the things that I don't get that I want to buy. So I'm really interested in quantity of IC chips and VGA chips, and better still, I would really like to get vintage. So if anybody out there has got vintage computers, I'm interested, and I'll pay more for vintage stuff, like the purple ceramic CPUs. I'll pay a lot for those. Purple ceramic IC chips, I'll pay a lot for those. We'll see what you got before I tell a price, because obviously, you know, things vary in quality and depend on the maker, the age. This is really stuck on hard. I don't know why it peeled off so easy in the middle and why it's stuck so hard on the outside. They're not very, they're very random with their screws. You know, there's a pile of them here and only two at the back. Maybe that's got to do with what's inside. Maybe they're holding the board onto the back. Has anybody done one of these before? Let me know. I'm keen to see if you enjoyed taking this off as much as I'm not. Alright, now this piece here might do the job. Fraction too big, this one here, it's smaller. It's the one. Looks like the outer case might be steel, but this inside part here looks like it's aluminium. And because of all this glue all over it, it'll have to go in dirty aluminium. So what I might try and do is soak it in petrol or something that'll get all that glue off. But the aluminium's not really worth the effort to do all that. That's the problem. I'll just put it through and see if they say anything. I really don't understand what an Apple TV box does. I have no clue. Never heard of them, never seen them advertised, never known anybody that's using one. Now, how does this come out? There we go. It's like a little computer. It's got a hard drive. Come on, get off. Interesting. More rubbish glued to it. Yeah, this is glued to it as well. This is backing. At least that came off easier. Hard drives are good, they've got a nice board, nice gold pins. I'll just have a look at the board on the other side. So very, very small Phillips screws. And a tiny, tiny, tiny Phillips screwdriver. There's one right in front of me, I just can't see it. This one might do it. No. There we go. If anyone wants to know where to get these boxes from, I got it off wish.com, and it wasn't very dear. I really can't remember the price, but it wasn't expensive at all. It was cheap for what it is. It's got a extendable thing here, so you can extend it right out. You can also take it out and put it through here to use it for leverage if we need leverage. It's quite good. I quite like hard drive boards. Some of them are a bit cheap and scummy, but most of them are really good. Alright, see, for its size, that is an exceptional board. It's got some nice gold pins here. It's got these nice gold pins here. They're a good colour, they're a good coating, those ones. And then it's got pins here, gold pins, and 3 nice size IC chips and nice bulky MLCCs. But for the gold, 3 decent sized chips on a small board like that and the gold pins, that's definitely a high grade board, no doubt about it. Nice. Nice. A bit of aluminium. Now, let's see what we got in here. I can't get over this. It's just like a little computer. Let's see if these ribbon wire pins are any good. It's not very often I get nice ribbon wire pins. They're usually mostly steel. No, they're all steel. Probably got a tiny little bit of gold on the tips. So yeah, they're steel. No good. So a bit of ribbon wire. So we've got some nice gold connectors there. Another slot card, so that's good. I like slot cards. These are magnetic too, by the way. I like to, as I was trying to show you before, I like to try and cut the wire now so that it doesn't yank the gold off. Hopefully this will be a good example for you so you can see what I'm talking about. So I get the plier, the cutters against the board and the back of the thing, push it off, and the gold comes with it. The gold pin there, not pin, the other side that clips onto, comes off with it. Nice. Well, in this case, I should have taken the metal off because the metal has stopped it from coming away. It's always when you try and make a video, something like this goes wrong. I've never experienced these with metal around them before. But because I'm making a video, of course it's got to be difficult. Murphy's Law, eh? Alright, gotcha. And we'll see what's under this metal. Very nice. Very nice indeed. On the back here there's only a tiny IC chip and a little tiny gold border oscillator. On the front we've got 3 nice sized BGAs. For this size board, that's pretty good. They're not huge chips, but they're big compared to the board. And then we've got the nice gold fingers. So I'm happy with this as a high grade board. Now what do we got? Let's see. Take the batteries out, they're no good. It's a lithium battery, not silver. There's no silver in that one. There is a nice gold tab here which was holding the battery in. Most times they're only steel, but this is gold. Gold coated, I should say, not gold, but gold coated. And same down here, the other end of it. There's a nice gold pointy tab here. So that's good. Looking good so far. Bit of copper foil. I try and sneak that through with the bright wire because it's thin and it's bright. To me it's the same thing. Okay, more screws to undo. This looks like probably the power board. Usually everything's got a power board where all the transformers are and diodes and things like that. Gold pins in this black plug, but there's not gold in this one. No gold pins there. So that's rubbish. Apple like their tape, don't they? Tape on everything. So annoying. What's with the tape, Apple? some wire. I must have shares in a tape factory or something. Alright, so we've got a transformer there, coil of copper there, it's nice bright wire, and then all this is all rubbish, no good. A little bit of aluminium there, so they have some transistors stuck to it. Nice copper coil there. That's it, barely a low grade, and got some tiny little LEs and IC chips. Low grade board, that one. This here would be a fan, I'm imagining. Yep. Now I could cut the centre out and put that in with motors, but it's not really worth the effort. 5 cents a kilo, my time's better worth that. There's no gold pins on this plug. Doesn't surprise me. No gold pins on that plug. Bloody tape everywhere. Sticks to everything. Okay. Not real sure how to get this board out. I've undone all the screws that I can see. Oh, there's one there hiding away. Stupid place to put a screw. I reckon they think to themselves, let's see how hard we can make this for Pete. Can't work out how to get this board out. This screws off, so hopefully that's going to be part of the problem. So under this plastic I have to get more screws. Typical. Alright, so this board, we've got some gold fingers there, gold pins, gold border oscillator there. It's not a bad size, it's still pretty small, but not bad. There's a tiny one there. MLCCs, we've got an IC chip there, IC chip there, 2 BGAs, some gold pins in here, some gold pins in here, and on the back we got BGA, 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 IC chip, a few small IC chips, another one there, another one there, another one there as well. This is only a ceramic top BGA, so there's no gold on that. The heat transfer tape, putty, rubbish, whatever it's called. So annoying, this stuff. So that would go through as a mid-grade board. It's almost high grade. If these were a bit bigger, it'd be alright, but that'll go through as mid-grade. You've got to take into account too that there's a whole lot of dead weight that I've got to remove. All this here, I've got to remove all that, and paying for the weight of something that's not any good. So that's what lowers it. You know, it would be nice because of all this here to go as high grade if it didn't have all this steel here, the dead weight. So it kind of makes it mid-grade. And then we're left with a small board here. Looks like it might have an IC chip on it. No. Rubbish. Hello. Some more copper foil. There's a lot of plastic in here that I need to get out. This is aluminium. I'll get all that plastic out before I can put it in the aluminium container. See how hard it's going to be. Because it's glued in, as you'd expect. So I'll do that later. And we've got this rubbish on here to peel off. And here. And this plastic. Now I need the knife. So it's going to take me time to get the knife onto this, scrape all this foam off here, and to remove this plastic before I can sell this aluminium, or it goes through as dirty aluminium, and I don't really want to do that. It looks like there's something in this channel, so we'll see what's under here. What is it with Apple and their tape and their glue? And that's all I had in there. Little screws holding that on. Of course there would be a bit of gold flashing on there, a bit of gold flashing on there. Copper foil. I know it doesn't weigh much, but it all adds up. So probably a little one like this. Yep. Okay, I'm going to try and peel that tin off. Still got some stuck on the back, so that's going to eat up acid. Bit of gold. Every little bit helps. Okay. And there we go. I've got to clean that up and have a bit of aluminium. Alright, I'll tidy up here and start the next one. Alright, so let's move on to this link station. I have no idea what a link station does. Never heard of it, never seen one. No screws anywhere that I can see. Guessing it's all under this here. Or unless it's a clip together type deal. Most plastic things these days are clipped together. Yeah, there's the clips there. This is very heavy, so I'm hoping there's something good in there. Oh, I'm gonna make it easy. Wow, how can it be so hard? There's no screws anywhere holding it in, I can see, unless it's under this. No. There we go. Nice. Put my drill bit back in, let's get my Phillips bit. Wow, very nice. Oh. Jesus, how hard's that to get off? Oh, Jesus. Oh, there's no gold pins in there. I've got a tactical switch there with silver. USB spot that I have gold pins. This is very nice. One IC chip, 2, 3, 4, 5 ICs, and a nice gold corner VGA, and a good gold board oscillator. We've got gold in here on these little LEDs. Very nice. This one's copper. Those copper coils I was telling you about. They're always right behind the USB spot. Take the battery off. Here's the battery. It looks like a battery. Might be an aluminium capacitor, but and battery. That is off. It's annoying that these things explode because it's a pain having to take all these off. Sometimes some boards are so full of these things. So I've got some gold pins there, ICs. There are some MLCs on there, some of them are decent size. There's a good one over here. And then on the back, we've got another 2 ICs, 3 ICs, 4 ICs. Very good. This will be a high grade board for sure. 2 tactical switches. But the gold side of it, the chip side of it, is very good. Quick battery change. Back. I don't know what's in here. It looks like a hard drive based on this plug. Another power board. Nice copper coil. Bit of aluminium, another copper coil in there, transformer, bit of wire. There's a 3-legged capacitor there. Transistor, I mean. It's got gold in it. Little IC chip there. Okay. I don't think I'm supposed to get a screwdriver in there. I got through it. One hard drive, and they have nice boards on them. The gold fingers in there, they're nice. Geez, they're dark. Usually they're not that dark. They're really good coating. So nice good gold pins there. IC chip, IC chip, IC chip, IC chip. Lots of MLCCs. Another high grade board. That's a beauty. Find the part to undo it. I think it might be this one. No. This other one I had out. Yep. That's the one. I've started a collection of really high grade quality gold pins. When I say really high grade quality, I don't mean military or medical grade. I'm just talking about full coated instead of the pins that are just a little bit on the end. And these ones here fit that criteria. They're nice and dark. So I'll be putting those into the collection so that I can do a video of decent gold pins. That's a nice board. Bit of wire. And the hard drive. I'm sure most of you know what's inside a hard drive. And this is all rubbish. Like I said, there's a fan there. I could take the motor out, but it's not worth the time for a tiny little motor for such a small amount of money. I think it's 5 or 10 cents a kilo or something. Might be a little bit more, but wouldn't be much more. Not worth it. Alright, next. What's this? It's a Sony something. No clue. Double layer, dual read. I think it's a read-write drive. Read-write RW. Yep, CD drive. Alright, get organised and we'll get into this. Alright, so I assume that the screws are under these rubber doobalackies here. That's usually where they hide them. Doesn't look like it. No. Must be another click together job. Might be a screw under that one. Yep. Like I said, I'm sure these companies go out of their way to make it hard for me. I'm sure they think about it when they make it and say, how can we make it hard for Pete? Hey, now we've got this is standard DVD drive. I like the way they just go and put standard things like these, hard drives and so on, into a package like this and then make it some other product. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but they call it something new and they charge a fortune for it. It's just a standard drive. Instead, they could just make something that plugs into it that you can plug in yourself instead of making this whole new product. I'm hoping some of you know what I'm talking about. Most of the time I don't. Right, so what have we got here? Switch. Could be some silver in that. I'll check that later. Yep, of course I dropped it. Of course I dropped it. Alright. It's not likely to be any gold in there. If it is, it'll be very, very small. Got some nice gold pins there. Look how dark they are. And they look like they're full length as well. So that's good. Three IC chips and a transistor. A little IC chip there. Silver, I'll get it in a minute. Mind blank, totally can't remember. Silver something. Might be some pins in there. Crystal oscillator, silver crystal oscillators. Alright. This would be medium grade, maybe, because it's got all the gold pins and it's got the three ICs and it's got the transistor, so yeah, I'd let that go through as medium grade. Ribbon wire, some wire, and a standard DVD drive, which I'm sure you have all seen before. We'll have a look and see what the board's like inside. They sometimes have a really good board, sometimes they're pretty cheap. I won't pull the whole thing apart. I'll do that off camera. Just want to see what the board looks like. It's a nice board. So 1, 2, 3, 4 decent ICs. That's a beauty, that one. And then on the back, 2 more IC chips and some good gold pins. So I would let that go through as a high grade board for sure. There's gold on this ribbon wire, which means there's gold in there. That's where it came from. So both sides of that are going to gold. So it'll be a high grade board, nice. And then under this one you've got a motor, but I'll do all that later. There's a brass shaft there and a little motor there. And then inside here, the laser diode quite often is gold. If you haven't seen it, you haven't seen how to get the diode out, let me know and I'll do a video of it. But for now, I'll just put this aside and do it later. Excuse me. Alright. It's the exact same thing again. Well, that looks different. Alright, see what's in this one. Very different from the last one. Funny how they look the same from the outside, and yet they're totally different. Wants to come out. Screw. Oh. Way different board, nothing like the other one. I don't know if you guys are enjoying this scrap marathon or if it's too boring. Let me know. If you like this type of thing, I'll do more of it. This will be a low grade board. There's no gold pins on there at all. We've got one IC plus a little one there and a tiny one here. That's it. Maybe a gold pin or two in there. It's definitely a low grade board. But this hard drive, usually they're pretty good. I like hard drives. The boards on the back. I doubt there's any gold pins in here. No. Usual story. Sometimes you get some that have got nice gold pins, but very rare. Most times I'd say 95% of the time they're not even plated, and if they are, very small amounts on the tip. Wire. Get all this out of my way. Wire. This all goes in 50-50. Okay. Nice board, nice gold pins. Geez, look how dark they are. A good coating on there. No. Probably this one. It's him. I had someone comment saying that they're sick of seeing me doing scrap videos and they want me to go back to doing gold. Well, that's all well and good, but I need something to process in order to get the gold. And part of the life of an e-waste recycler is scrapping. And I'm assuming there's some people out there that like watching scrapping videos. I could just do all this off camera, scrap it all and come back when I've got something to process, but then there's a gap in between when I'm putting videos out. So it makes sense to me to film it. So it's a nice board. 3 decent ICs considering the size of the board, a small one there, MLCCs and some really nice gold pins. They're a good coating. That would go through as a high grade board easy. Okay, now we're just going to do the small things. So I'll get rid of this and start again. Alright, so what's this machine here? A snooper. 5-band laser. This looks like a speed detector, the radar detector you put on the dash of your car. I reckon that's what it is. Let's have a look inside. Never done one of these before. Never seen anyone do one either, so hopefully this is a first. There probably is a video out there, but I haven't seen it. I haven't looked, to be honest, for a laser speed detector, radar detector. But with all the scrapping videos I'm watched, I'm sure that I would have seen it by now, if there was one. So you might have seen it here first, folks. What's inside a radar detector? I'm pretty sure it is a radar detector. My friend's got one that looks the same as this. Probably not identical, but it's about the same size. And it's got laser written on the back here, different bands, different frequencies. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Cast aluminium, brass, whatever these things are for. A little 3-legged transistor there that's got gold in it. Another one here. LEDs. I don't know if there is gold. They say there's gold in them, so I'll just go with it. But whatever this round thing is, I don't know. There's brass in there. Let's see what's under here. These aren't brass screws because they're sticking to the screwdriver. They look like brass, but they're not. Oh yeah, tiny little board with 3 ICs. Nothing wrong with that. Gold pins here, 2 nice gold pins. They're full length and they're nice and dark. They're good pins. Okay, looking good so far. Has anybody ever scrapped a radar detector? Let me know in the comments. I'm keen to find out. Surely someone's done one by now. I'm imagining that people have probably done it and just not filmed it. Alright. I don't know what else to do to get this off. Oh, there's another screw there. Open your eyes, Pete. Oh, I must have missed one still because it still won't come off. I can't see anymore. Looking in those holes is dark and I can't see. There's a screw in there. No. No. I doubt these things are holding it in. Weird. Oh well. When in doubt, use force. Persuasion tool always works. Okay, so I gotta get the brass out of there and get this cast aluminium cleaned up. Transistor there with gold, and that's it. We've got a potentiometer here which might have some gold, but I'd say it's going to be more brass than anything. Well, it's not anything fancy. It's two tiny little things that contain gold and some small ICs. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say low grade board. There's nothing really stands out. If it was a decent sized chip, maybe, but I'd say low grade. There's a lot of rubbish on there. All this stuff here adds weight. All these things here. It's a fairly thick board. Yeah, I'd say low grade for that. But this one here, yeah, nice gold pins and 3 ICs on a tiny board. That can go through as high grade. Alright, I'll clean up and start the next one. Alright, so here we've got a card reader, memory chip reader thing. There's several different sizes, and I've got a few of these floating around, so there's no point in keeping onto it. I'd rather see what's in there. I'm guessing there'll be some nice gold pins or something wherever it contacts the chips that you put in. I think each of those slots would have something in there that joins up to the board that you put in. Never seen inside one of these before. Always wondered if they're any good. I get given these a lot. People bring me scrap. There's quite often one of these in there. Oh, look at that. Wow. They're full length coated and they're nice and dark. I'm getting some good pins today. They're nice. Let's see what's under that metal. Yep, more pins, just as I thought. These ones aren't full length, but the little bit of gold that is on there looks nice. What's on this side? Yep, just as I thought, more pins. Yeah, I'll be doing these in future. I like these. So they're only on the tip, but again, they're nice and dark. It's a good coating on there. Come on, there's always one in every crowd. Thank you. And again, these aren't full length, these ones, but you can see they're nice and dark. They're nice. And check these ones out. Very nice. And we've got an IC thrown in for a good measure and a transistor. I can't quite decide if this is a very good mid-grade or just sneaking into low grade. Because the pins are so good, there's such a nice coating on them, nice and dark, and the IC, I would say this will pass as a high grade. If there's someone had just a bunch of these, I would pay high grade for it. Nice. Now what's this, some sort of tiny modem thing, another Apple product, great. So I'm guessing I have to get underneath all this rubber again. And no surprise, there's tape. Tape and glue, tape and glue. If you want tape and glue, buy an Apple product. Won't work very well, but it'll give you lots of glue and tape. Look at cast iron, aluminium on this one. Very heavy. Seems too heavy for aluminium. I'm wondering if it's even aluminium. get a magnet in a second. It's way too heavy. For this size aluminium, it shouldn't be this heavy. That is very heavy. And how do I get this board out? It's probably glued in. Clips. I'm guessing there's some gold pins under there. They look nice and gold, very dark. Usually when they're dark, it's a good sign. Let's see if I can just get one out, because see what it looks like. Yeah, they're not full coated at the back and at the front, but they're not in the middle. That doesn't make much sense. Okay, weird. One IC chip, one BGA, tiny BGA, that's it. Low grade, there'll be some more pins in here as well. Okay, low grade. Alright, I'll sort this out and get the next one going. I've got a magnet now and it doesn't stick, but it's way too heavy. I think it must be zinc or a combination of alloys, but I don't think it's just straight aluminium. Not that it matters, it'll still go through as cast aluminium. Right. What have we got here? Multi-hub USB. Oh yeah, so you put lots of 4 USB slots in, just powered up by one wire there. Okay. Little micro scrapping. I do have plenty of ways for you guys to contact me if you want to sell anything. I've got a Facebook page, Gold Refining and Recovery with Pete, and I've also got E-Waste Buyer. So if you search for E-Waste Buyer, it should come up with my page as well. Okay, so this is very low grade, just maybe some pins, one transistor, maybe some wire pins in there, that's it. Not even there's one tiny little IC chip here, hiding under a sticker. So definitely high grade. Don't know what that cockroach thinks it's doing crawling around in our house. Come in from this. Low grade. One more thing to do. It's just a radio, I think. Yeah, some sort of a small radio. Okay, so we've got a bit of brass here on the switch. This dial here, there's brass there, and some tactical switches, 3-legged transistor. That's it. And some people say there's gold bond wires under there. I don't think there would be on something as cheap as this. Maybe a high-grade board, but not something like this. It wouldn't even pass as low grade. There's no value in it. Some dark copper coils here. I wouldn't even put it through as low grade. No. I guess it would have to go as low grade. You can't just throw it in a bin. There's some worth in it. All right, we'll call that low grade. Well, there you go, guys. Thanks for those who are still watching. Thanks for watching this far. And hope you enjoyed it. Like I said before, please let me know if you do like this marathon type deal. My truck is full of TVs. I'm happy to do a marathon of TVs. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.